Revealed, how two abandoned twins and their mother transformed their lives in just 3 years. The small town of Oak Ridge, Indiana, looked peaceful, but underneath its calm surface lay a storm brewing with secrets. Sisters Jenna and Mia, only 14, were fighting battles no one should have to face. Abandoned by their mother, Lisa, they slipped through the cracks of the foster care system like whispers in the wind. Jenna, with her fiery spirit and piercing blue eyes, was the loud voice in the silence. Mia, soft and thoughtful, stared quietly into the chaos surrounding them, holding on to the hope that their bond would save them from drowning. Every day, they walked the hallways of Oak Ridge High, feeling the daggers of the world aimed right at them. "Look, there go the broken girls," echoed the whispers. Jenna's fists clenched with anger, and she defiantly tossed her thick brown hair over her shoulder, enraged by the judgment. Mia felt all the stares but often withdrew into her thoughts to shield her heart. They were more than labels, yet each day, society stripped them of that truth. While they grappled with bullies at school, Lisa was facing her demons in a dimly lit motel room halfway across town. Addiction had consumed her life and painted their once warm home a cold, empty shell. But separation left a gaping hole in her heart, and the thought of Jenna and Mia haunted her every waking moment. Tonight, however, something shifted deep inside her tired soul. The bottle slipped from her hands, shattering on the floor. It was a moment of clarity, a realization that if she didn't reclaim her life, she'd lose her daughters forever. With a deep breath, Lisa decided it was time for rehab. Meanwhile, Jenna and Mia leaned on each other fiercely, their bond becoming a lifeline in the turbulence. They excelled at school, discovering newfound determination in their hearts that lit fires under their feet. "We are not broken," Jenna would shout at lunchtime, courage echoing in her voice as more students started to notice their resolve. Mia smiled shyly, her heart swelling with pride as she joined in Jenna's crusade against the bullying, gently but surely coming out of her shell. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Just as the light flickered closer, Lisa's health began to crumble. A sudden illness forced her back into the hospital, turning dreams into a harrowing reality. The once silent rooms echoed with the sounds of machines and hushed voices debating fears. Jenna and Mia stood at the threshold, terrified yet hopeful. Could this be the moment when everything shifted? Would their mother's battle with illness rewrite their family's story for good or seal it behind a wall of despair? As Lisa stirred in the hospital bed, the arrival of an unexpected visitor sent shockwaves through the sisters' fragile world. A mysterious face from the past, an old friend of Lisa's, stepped into the room, revealing secrets that felt like heavy chains about to plunge them back into darkness. Would they be able to piece their lives together, or had the past unwoven their tightly knit bond forever? The question hung in the air, ripe with uncertainty as Jenna and Mia stood at a crossroads, their hearts racing, ready to face whatever came next. Jenna's heart raced, the pounding in her chest drowning out the soft hum of the machines. She squinted at the unfamiliar figure standing by the door, a woman with familiar features that created an unsettling mixture of nostalgia and dread. Mia, sensing her sister's tension, gripped Jenna's hand, as if grounding her in the moment. "Who are you?" Jenna's voice broke the silence, sharp and demanding. The woman stepped forward, her emerald eyes glistening with unshed tears. "My name is Clara. I was Lisa's best friend." The words fell heavy in the air, wrapping around them like a dense fog. Mia looked from Clara to Jenna, her brow furrowing in confusion. The secrets of their mother's past were dark alleys they had never dared to explore, and this was a door they hadn't imagined would be opened. "I came to see Lisa, but it seems she has woken up," Clara said softly, glancing at the frail figure in the hospital bed. "She needs help, and I want to help her." Jenna's protective instincts flared. Help? What do you know about helping? Their mother had already made a mess of their lives, what could Clara possibly add to that? My intentions are good, I promise, Clara pleaded, her eyes widening with desperation. I know you two have been through so much, but Lisa's done some soul-searching. The drugs consumed her, yes, but she's ready to fight. She needs people who care for her. Mia took a step forward, softening as she listened. And you care for her? I do. We were close. But I lost her to addiction, just like you did. Clara's voice trembled, a raw edge creeping in. I'm here to help her reclaim her life and to help you. We can rebuild. You don't have to take this on alone. At that moment, a quiet strength flooded through Mia. The thought of a cohesive family tugged at something deep within her. What can we do? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Jenna shot her a glance, mixed emotions swirling in her gaze. She wanted to trust in this glimmer of hope but felt shackled by the past. We're not looking for a substitute mother, she snapped, we just want our real mom back. Clara nodded, unfazed by their defense. I understand. But Lisa isn't perfect. She's going to need patience and love, and so are you. The words hung in the air, settling into their hearts as Lisa stirred in her bed, knitting their immediate world around them in a thread of dread and hope. Would they have the strength to let this woman in? Could they open their hearts to the possibility of a second chance for their family? A tension-filled silence enveloped the room, as Jenna and Mia exchanged furtive glances filled with uncertainty and yearning. Can you promise us that? Jenna asked, her guard softening minutely. Can you promise she tries? I can promise that we'll try together, Clara replied, her voice rising with warmth. Just then, the hospital lights flickered, casting shadows across the room. A steady beeping of the machines verified the comforting notion, their mother was still alive, and this was not the end. As they moved closer to Lisa's side, the atmosphere grew thick with impending change. What if this was the moment Henry the Past whispered farewell, and the future shone brighter? But just then, a thought flashed through Jenna's mind, a fear she couldn't shake. Was it truly the past they needed to leave behind, or would it sneak back in, dragging them down once more? With their mother's fate hanging in the balance and Clara's offer weaving a thread of possibility, the sisters stood tall, feeling the weight of their love battling the aching void of uncertainty. The journey ahead was fraught with choices, and they could feel it, the thrill and the fear of facing the unknown. Were they truly ready for the path ahead, hand in hand with someone they had just met? As the room filled with anxiety and hope, one thing was clear, their lives would never be the same. What awaited them as they crossed this threshold together? That question lingered, tantalizingly close yet painfully out of reach. The moment felt charged with an energy neither sister could contain, yet an awkward silence settled over them. It was as if the world outside the hospital walls had faded away, leaving only their fragile family dynamic in focus. Jenna couldn't help but notice Clara's unwavering gaze, scanning the horizon of their mother's pale face like an artist anticipating their next stroke. All right, Jenna relented, her voice low but firm, let us see what she has to say. Mia nodded, eager but cautious. They moved closer, the air tinged with antiseptic and emotions more complicated than any procedure. Clara took a deep breath, her hands clasped in front of her like a supplicant. Lisa, it's Clara. I'm here. She stepped towards their mother, and as she did, Jenna's tension tightened into a knot in her stomach. I want you to know that I've thought of you every single day. You're not alone. Lisa blinked slowly, her eyes glassy but aware. Jenna caught a flicker of recognition within those weary depths. Clara? The faint echo of her mother's voice was like a lifeline thrown into a turbulent sea. Yes, Lisa. It's me. I'm here to help you, Clara replied, her voice steady yet soft. We have a lot of work to do, but we can do this together. Jenna felt her heart twist. Help? Was this what their mother needed after years of chaos and disappointment? There was something unfamiliar in Clara's assuredness that both frightened and comforted her. Mia took a deep breath. The sight of their mother struggling to grip the edge of consciousness tugged at her heartstrings. "Mom, can you tell us what you want?" "Want to go home," Lisa murmured, her voice barely audible. "Home? Or do you mean your life? What do you want to reclaim?" Jenna forced out, the years of hurt spilling over her lips before she could filter it. Jenna's desperation filled the room. She was willing to fight for the mother she remembered, the one who once played hide and seek while baking cookies in the kitchen. But did that woman still exist? "I want to be better," Lisa mumbled, her fingers trembling as she attempted to reach out. "I didn't mean to lose you." The admission hung in the air like a fragile balloon, ready to pop. Clara jumped in gently. "Lisa, you have an opportunity. Not just with me, but with your daughters. You can become the woman you want to be, the mother they need." Jenna felt the walls close in. "It's not that easy. You think words are enough when we've been pushed aside for years?" "Maybe it starts with words," Clara replied. "But it doesn't have to end there. We can explore the deep roots of your pain together." Lisa's eyes flickered with a mix of recognition and agony. "I was lost but I want to be found," she whispered, as if she was still trying to remember her way home. As their mother's eyes shone with unshed tears, Jenna's heart broke open. Maybe Clara was right. Maybe they could wrestle their mother back from the darkness, one step at a time. "I want to believe that," Jenna murmured, her voice trembling with the weight of possibility. "Then let us do this together," Clara said with quiet determination. "No more isolation, no more silencing the pain. Just strength in numbers." The trio stood enveloped in an unspoken understanding, a pact made not through language but through the power of shared longing. A fragile thread of hope began to weave its way into their tapestry, yet outside the sterile comfort of the hospital room, darkness lay in wait. While they might have begun forging a new path together, shadows of the past lingered, ready to pull them back at the slightest misstep. And as they reached for the plan of action, an unexpected phone call abruptly escalated their reality. Clara's phone buzzed loudly against the nightstand, and the ringing echoed like an alarm bell announcing that perhaps change wasn't the only thing around the corner. What would that call bring? Fear twisted inside Jenna as she dared not imagine. Clara's heart raced as she fished her phone out of her bag. The incessant ring felt like a storm brewing inside the quiet hospital room. She shot a quick glance at Jenna, who looked as pale as their mother lying frail in the bed. With one deep breath, Clara answered, her voice steady but laced with concern. "Hello." The moment left Jenna on edge. Each passing second stretched painfully. Clara's expression shifted, the way her brow furrowed told Jenna this wasn't just a routine call. "It's who?" Clara's confusion echoed in the air, and Jenna's stomach dropped. The name on the other end jolted Clara. Jenna couldn't make out the words, but she could see Clara's grip on the phone tighten, knuckles paling. Mia sensed the increasing tension as if it were a live wire crisscrossing through them all. She moved closer to her sister, desperately seeking reassurance through shared strength. Jenna couldn't help but imagine the worst. Was it a call from their past? Someone they thought was long gone? The hospital walls felt like they were closing in, suspending her in a bizarre limbo, caught somewhere between hope for their mother and dread for what was unfolding. Okay, yes. I understand, Clara finally replied, her voice steadier than Jenna felt. Jenna leaned in, her breath caught in her throat as Clara murmured something that felt profoundly significant. "Yes, will be right there." Clara hung up, her eyes locking with Jenna's. The deep fear pooling in the bottom of Jenna's heart was mirrored in her sister's gaze. "What was that?" Jenna asked, a tremor in her voice. Clara stepped back, trying to gather herself. It was Clara's old therapist. They're saying our mother could be released soon. But there's more, there's a meeting they want us to attend." Something about the steps to start over. Start over? Jenna echoed, not sure if she was processing hope or fear. You mean with her? Now. Clara nodded, the weight of what that might entail staining her expression. We need to decide if we're ready for this. To confront everything what happened in the past, what she went through. Mia stood between them now, her small hands clasped together. But what if she hasn't changed? What if she breaks us again? The room was suffocating, the air thick with unspoken words and raw emotions. Jenna felt like the questions were closing in. How much pain could they endure? Did they have the strength not just to forgive but to heal? There's no right answer here, Clara said thoughtfully, her voice barely a whisper. But if she's willing to try, so should we. Jenna peered down at their mother, her heart open and vulnerable. The longing to reclaim that connection battled with the scars of years past. Just then, Lisa stirred slightly, a flicker of life as her gaze roamed slowly towards her daughters. Clara's heart sank. Could they trust her after all this time? The silence of the room was palpable. They were suspended in a moment of possibility, but the weight of their history loomed like a specter. We have a choice, Clara continued softly. We can stand still, or we can step forward. It's all a leap of faith. Jenna's heart raced at the thought. A chance for what? For love. For pain. The phone call had opened a door, but would they find light or darkness on the other side? The shadows of the past were whispering, tempting them to retreat. Clara's eyes searched Jenna's. Will you come with me? Are you ready to see what we've waited so long for? Outside the hospital, a storm brewed, a cacophony of thunder and rain raging along with their emotions. Jenna took a deep breath, a lump forming in her throat. I don't know if I can handle it. But maybe we can't walk away either. As the three of them shared a quiet moment of uncertainty, the barriers between their hearts and the world began to crack. But what lay beyond that door remained cloaked in the fog of the unknown. The journey to healing had just begun, but at what cost? The phone call, the stakes, the choices ahead, it all loomed like a shadow ready to descend, and yet, as Jenna looked towards her mother, who seemed to be stirring once again, she realized something. Would this moment turn out to be breaking them apart or pulling them together? What would Lisa say if she knew they were ready to brave whatever lay ahead? As Clara stood there, the weight of the decision pressed down on her like the heavy storm clouds above. The uncertainty thickened in the air, and the faint beeping of machines around them echoed like a ticking clock, each sound reminding them that time was of the essence. Let's think about it, Clara began, her voice steady but warm. If this is a chance, a real chance for us, maybe we should give it a try. Just one meeting. We can assess everything afterward. Jenna felt the energy shift as she processed Clara's words. Every instinct screamed to protect their hearts. What if their mother wasn't ready? What if this was all some cruel trick of fate? Would they dare to let their hopes rise only to be dashed again? Okay, Jenna whispered, almost to herself. Just one meeting. Clara's eyes lit up for a moment as if she could see a light breaking through the oppressive clouds. Jenna's fear still lingered in the back of her mind, but she knew that staying still wouldn't heal them. Maybe stepping forward was the only way to break free from the chains forged by the past. Mia, who had been holding her breath, finally spoke. What do we say when we get there? How do we even start? The innocence in Mia's voice cut through the tension. Clara knelt down to meet her sister's worried gaze. We just tell her how we feel. No pretense. Just the truth. It's all we can do. Do you think she'll want to hear it? Mia's voice wavered. I think she has to, Clara replied, her tone firm but soft. If there's any chance of making this work, she needs to understand what's at stake. Jenna nodded slowly, though a knot formed tightly in her stomach. Thoughts raced through her mind. Memories. The tough love and the silence. The times they needed their mother the most and she was nowhere to be found. Just then, Lisa's head turned slowly, her eyes piercing through the haze of sedation. A glimmer of recognition crossed her face. She'd seen her daughters, and even in her weakened state, the love flickered between them like a fragile flame. Jenna's heart swelled, but an edge of dread crept in. Would Lisa recognize them? Would she even care? Maybe this is it, Clara said softly, her voice breaking an almost unbearable silence. Maybe she's ready after all these years. Maybe we can start over. Together. What if it's too late for her? Mia asked, her small hands trembling slightly. Jenna took Mia's hand and squeezed it tightly. It's never too late as long as we're willing to try. Let us do it together. They stood as one, a unit forged by love despite the past. Clara took a deep breath and looked toward her mother, determination settling over her fear. We owe it to ourselves to find out what lies ahead. As they prepared to walk out of the room, Jenna lingered, casting one last glance back at their mother. Lisa appeared more alive than moments ago, her eyes searching. The hope that had twisted itself into doubt felt fragile, yet it held a promise they dared to pursue. The storm outside roared louder, and as the girls made their way toward the exit, Jenna felt an unexpected spark of courage. Yes, it would be a journey. An uncharted territory. Clara, Mia whispered, what happens if we don't feel ready once we see her? Clara paused, a shadow flickering across her face. Then we walk out. But we'll never know until we try. With that, they stepped forward, leaving the familiar warmth of the hospital room behind. What awaited them outside was unknown, as was the meeting that loomed ahead. But before them, as dark clouds rolled in the distance, a sliver of sunlight pierced through, illuminating a path that had been hidden for far too long. As they emerged into the storm, Jenna grasped her sister's hands tightly. They trudged forward, united in uncertainty yet fueled by an unyielding strength. Their mother awaited, and so did the echoes of their past. What secrets would unfold when they finally faced the truth? Would it bring them together or tear them apart all over again? The storm raged around them as they stepped into the chilled air outside the hospital. Jenna felt the wind whip through her hair, sharp and biting, yet somehow invigorating. She squeezed Clara and Mia's hands tighter, their united front against the elements matching their resolve to face whatever awaited them. Stay close, Clara urged, her grip firm. They navigated the slick pavement, puddles reflecting the darkening sky. Each step felt monumental. With every stride, Jenna battled the conflicting emotions that threatened to overwhelm her. Anxiety coiled in her stomach alongside an undeniable hope. The clinic where Lisa was being treated loomed ahead, stark and uninviting. As they approached the entrance, Jenna's breath quickened. What if this meeting would be another disappointment? What if they walked into that room and saw a stranger looking back at them instead of the mother they once knew? Remember what we talked about, Clara whispered, her eyes locked onto Jenna's, just the truth. In an instant, the world outside faded. It was just the three of them, standing together against the daunting past that loomed heavier than the dark clouds above. Mia looked up, her eyes wide. What if she doesn't recognize us? Jenna knelt down, meeting her sister's gaze. She might not, but we need to show her who we are now. We can't change what happened, but we can change how we move forward. Taking a deep collective breath, they stepped inside. The fluorescent lights buzzed above, stark and cold against the comforting warmth of the sun they had left behind. The waiting area was almost too quiet, the ticking of the clock painfully audible. Jenna's heart raced as they signed in, every moment stretching agonizingly. Just when she thought she might burst, a nurse appeared. "Girls," she said gently, her smile brightening the gloom that hung between them. "Ms. Collins is ready for visitors. Follow me." Each step felt heavy with anticipation. Jenna held tightly onto the hope that maybe, just maybe, today would mark a new beginning. As they entered the room, Jenna's heart fluttered. There was Lisa, lying in bed, but she looked so different. Her face, once vibrant, was pale and drawn. And yet, her eyes shone with recognition when they met Jenna's mom. Jenna's voice was barely a whisper, catching in her throat. Lisa turned her head, blinking slowly as though waking from a long slumber. The recognition lit her features, a soft warmth melting the fear frozen in Jenna's heart. Jenna Clara Mia. A mix of emotions crashed over Jenna like an unexpected wave. Relief, love, and something else, a hint of panic. What did they even say now? Clara stepped forward, her voice steadier, breaking the tremor in the air. We're here, Mom. We wanted to see you, to talk. Lisa's brow furrowed. Talk. Mia ventured closer, her small hands fidgeting. We missed you and wanted to know if you still love us. The question hung in the air, raw and real. The room grew still. As the weight of those words settled in, Jenna felt her heart pound in her chest. Would Lisa answer? Would she give them the love they so desperately craved? Lisa's gaze flickered with confusion, regret, and something else that looked like fear. I don't know if I can. Jenna stepped forward, her voice shaking but determined. Mom, please. We want to understand. We want to know you, the real you. Lisa's eyes filled with tears, and in that moment, Jenna realized how fragile this connection was. The walls, both physical and emotional, stood ready to either crumble or fortify. Mia's breath caught, her innocence hanging in the balance of their mother's reply. Would Lisa answer? Would they piece together the fragments of a broken past, or would their hopes be shattered once again? The tension in the room electrified the air, and as Lisa opened her mouth to speak, Jenna held her breath. What would be revealed in that moment? Would they find the mother they sought, or would the storm within tear them apart? Lisa took a deep breath, a shaky sound that seemed to echo in the muted room. I wish I could say I've been waiting for this moment. Her voice trembled, hesitant as if every word was an enormous weight. Mom, we just want you to know that we love you, Clara interjected, her voice clear but soft. No matter what happened before, we're still here. Jenna felt her heart racing. They practiced this moment in their minds so many times, and yet here they were, raw and exposed. The history was a thick fog around them, making it hard to see the way forward. She took a step back, allowing Clara to speak, hoping her sister's brave words would inspire Lisa to find her own strength, but Lisa's expression clouded with shame. I thought I was protecting you. I thought you'd be better off without me. Her voice cracked, and she blinked rapidly, as if to stave off the tears she tried so hard to hold back. Mia shuffled on her feet, her little hands clenching and unclenching. But we weren't better off, Mom. We missed you every day. The rawness in Mia's voice caught Jenna off guard. She felt a sharp pang of sympathy for her sister. They had each other, but they had also longed for their mother, yearned for closure that never arrived. I know, Lisa finally managed, her voice laced with sorrow. That was my mistake. I didn't realize how lost I would feel without you all. This is harder than I thought. The air felt heavy. Jenna stepped forward and perched on the edge of Lisa's bed, feeling the coolness of the sheets beneath her. It's okay to be scared, Mom. We're scared too. But we want to do this together. Lisa turned her gaze to Jenna, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. And what if I don't know how? Then we'll figure it out together, Clara assured her. We've learned that it's okay to ask for help. Help from each other, and from the people who care about us. You don't have to be alone anymore. Jenna saw something flicker in Lisa's eyes, a small glint of hope among the worry. You've grown so much. I feel like I've missed everything. The tremors in her voice were now accompanied by a slight air of determination. That's the past. We can't change it, Jenna urged, her heart thudding as she spoke. But we can build something new. We can start again. The silence enveloped them once more, a thick, tangible thing. Jenna's heart raced with the weight of their unspoken dreams, heavy and full. Could they really begin this journey together? Suddenly, Lisa leaned forward, her fragile hands grasping Jenna's. Will you help me learn how to be your mother again? The question was loaded but sincere. Jenna's breath caught, the warmth of their hands intertwined offering a promise of something they had all yearned for. "We want to help, Mom." Mia, who had remained quiet, opened her mouth to speak, but her small voice wavered. "Just please don't go away again." Tears finally spilled from Lisa's eyes, and as she shook her head slowly, the floodgates opened. "I promise I won tea." In that moment, something shifted in the room. Hope flooded between them, filling the gaps left by years of silence. They were breathing the same air now, connected by their vulnerabilities and fragile wishes. Just then, a loud crash of thunder echoed from outside, a remnant of the storm still brewing. The noise filled the room, a harsh reminder of the world beyond. But inside this small bubble, they had found a light even in the dark. As the respite from the storm lingered, Jenna felt a sense of purpose creeping in at the edges of her anxious heart. They had a chance to rewrite their story. "Can we start with a dinner?" Clara's suggestion broke through the emotional haze. "A family dinner where we can talk and really get to know each other again." Lisa smiled weakly, a glimmer of something hopeful in her eyes. "That sounds perfect." They exchanged tentative smiles, craving this new beginning, the warm thread of connection weaving tighter around them. But just as a sense of calm settled over the room, Mia asked softly, "What will we talk about?" In that moment, as Jenna exchanged glances with Clara, she realized. That wasn't the question. The real question was what they would uncover together, what pieces of their shared past would emerge, and how healing those discussions might truly be. As Lisa took a deep steadying breath, Jenna's heart raced once more. Just how deep would those conversations go? Would they shatter what was left of the foundation, or solidify a newfound love? The storm inside them still rumbled, threatening to drown out any progress. But hope flickered, and the future loomed ahead, uncertain yet tantalizing. They had taken the first steps, but where would those steps lead them next? The next morning dawned gray and heavy, the aftermath of yesterday's storm lurking in the air. Jenna stood by the window, staring out at the drenched world, the grass glistening with moisture, and the sky a solemn shade of slate. Each droplet reminded her of the heartbreaking conversations they had shared, hoping for understanding and healing. Mia was still asleep, a small bundle tucked under the covers, her peaceful face illuminated by the weak morning light. Clara slumped next to Lisa on the couch, both women sipping coffee in silence, the weight of the previous day's revelations hanging between them. The scent of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, but didn't mask the bittersweet tension. "Do you think she'll really be okay?" Clara finally broke the silence, her voice barely above a whisper. Jenna turned to watch Lisa, who was staring at the mug in her hands like it held all the answers. "I hope so," Jenna replied cautiously. "But it's going to take time. A lot of effort from all of us." The truth felt heavy in her mouth, another layer to peel away. "I just want her back, the real her," Clara said, her voice quaking. "I want her to be our mom again." The plea struck Jenna, the raw yearning clear in her sister's eyes. That desire resonated with her, a longing for the woman they used to know, the woman who held them close in laughter, not the one who faded away. "Maybe we had it all wrong. Maybe she was just as lost as we were," Jenna suggested, surprising even herself. It was a thought she hadn't fully explored yet. "She chose to leave for us, in a way. But that doesn't mean she stopped loving us." The room fell into contemplation as Clara absorbed the words, the shadows of doubt clearing just a little. Suddenly, Mia's sleepy voice broke through. "What are you talking about?" Bleary-eyed, she rubbed her fists against her eyes, trying to wake up but already sensing the heaviness in the air. "We're just trying to figure things out, sweetheart," Clara reassured her with a soft smile. "Can we talk about dinner tonight?" Mia asked, her small voice barely containing her excitement. "I want to make it special. We can use the good plates." It was an innocent suggestion, but it struck a chord deep within Jenna's heart. This was a chance to rebuild, to reclaim those moments they lost. Lisa looked up then, her eyes slightly brighter as she chimed in. "How about we all cook together? Let us make it a real family dinner, we can make your favorite, Mia. How does pasta sound? The idea hung in the air, wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. It felt like a bridge, a path leading towards something better. Jenna couldn't help but smile. Even Mia's nose crinkled, her excitement peeking through the remaining shadows. Can we make it fun? Mia pleaded, a sparkle igniting in her eyes. Of course. We can tell stories, play music, and even dance while we cook. Lisa's tone was light, and Jenna could feel the warmth radiating from her mother, a sign of hope blossoming amidst uncertainty. Okay. Mia cheered, bouncing slightly on the couch. Clara giggled at her sister's enthusiasm, the weight of tension easing ever so slightly. But Jenna couldn't shake the unease gnawing at the edges of her excitement. What stories would surface? Which wounds might reopen during their family dinner? The unknown loomed before them, a mixture of hope and fear, the two intertwined like roots of the same tree. But as they discussed dishes and ingredients, an unspoken agreement hovered, a promise to tackle whatever lay ahead. Tonight, we can share one memory. Jenna suggested tentatively. Just one, and then we'll keep building on that. Good idea, Clara nodded in agreement, the mood lifting a fraction more. Lisa's expression brightened as they launched into planning, and Jenna felt a flicker of determination rise. The day passed quickly, each hour carrying with it the urgency to prepare, to cleanse the air and set the stage for healing. As evening approached, however, the storm clouds from the day before didn't fully clear, the ambience now colored with anticipation and trepidation. When the doorbell rang that night, Jenna's heart plummeted for just a second. She wasn't entirely sure she was ready for who or what might come through that door. Who could that be? Clara furrowed her brow, glancing toward Jenna who was standing at the threshold, hands trembling slightly against the handle. Are we ready for whatever or whoever may show up next? Jenna thought, an unexpected weight settling in her stomach. Before she could answer her own question, she pulled the door open. The figure standing there took her breath away, leaving her momentarily frozen. What she didn't expect was the looming presence of someone from a past they thought was buried deep. Would this person be a new catalyst for change or a painful reminder of everything they were trying to rebuild? Jenna's heart raced, her breath catching in her throat as she stared at the shadowy figure in the doorway. It was a face she hadn't seen in years, one that taunted long-buried memories and complicated emotions. The air thickened around her, memories crashing like waves, each one more tumultuous than the last. Mom? Clara's voice trembled from behind her, the realization dawning on them both. A flurry of emotions washed over Jenna, disbelief, surprise, and an undeniable stirring of anger. How could she just show up unannounced? They had been trying so hard to piece their lives together, and now an unfamiliar figure stood before them, ready to upend everything. The woman at the door looked older than Jenna remembered. Her once vibrant hair had dulled, and her clothes, though tidy, seemed misaligned with the world outside. Yet, there was an unmistakable connection, the same eyes of a stormy sea, filling Jenna with a sense of nostalgia mixed with hesitation. Can I come in? Her mother asked softly, the question hanging in the air like a fragile thread ready to snap. Jenna's throat tightened. What would this even mean? Clara still stood rooted to the spot, mouth slightly agape, overwhelmed by conflicting feelings. In that moment, it felt as if time had held them hostage, and they were back to that familiar territory where love and resentment collided. Jenna's mind raced. What do we do now? The memory of the promised family dinner, infused with laughter and stories, suddenly felt precarious, like a tightrope walk above uncertain waters. Before she could think it through, Jenna stepped back, allowing their mother to cross the threshold. I think we were just getting ready for dinner. The words felt weak, barely grasping the enormity of what was unfolding. The room shifted, a blend of tension and curiosity unfolding as their mom met Clara and Mia's wide eyes. I didn't know if I should come, but I wanted to see you. I've missed you so much. Mia, still so innocent, tilted her head to the side, processing the stranger before her. Who are you? She asked, her voice breaking through the thick atmosphere. It's okay, Mia, Clara encouraged, reaching for her sister's hand to steady her. That's our mom. Mom. Mia echoed, confusion and innocence laced through her words. But you said, you left. With those words, the air grew heavier. Jenna's heart raced, already anticipating the impending breakdown of emotions. She swallowed hard, glancing at Clara, the shared disbelief tight between them. Lisa stepped forward slightly, her protective instincts flaring. You chose to leave, to not be a part of their lives. Why should we welcome you back now? Their mother flinched, a flicker of hurt crossing her face. I know I hurt you all, and I can't change that. But I want to. I want to make it right. Jenna's pulse quickened, torn between anger and the glimmer of hope sparking within her. What does that even mean? What do you plan to do? She didn't want to sound accusatory, but the need for answers propelled her words. I thought about you every day, her mother began, her voice trembling. I didn't want to break your hearts or myself any more than I already had. I thought time apart would help. Help you or us? Clara whispered, her anguish palpable as she wrapped her arms around Mia, shielding her from the emotional storm brewing in the room. I'm back now. Their mother's voice took on a firmer tone. I want to reconnect, to try to be the mother you remember. As Jenna scanned everyone's faces, Mia's tentative curiosity, Clara's caution, and Lisa's skepticism, she felt a mix of hopefulness and dread. Could this really be a new beginning? Or would this just reopen old wounds, forcing them to re-examine their grief too raw to bear? Silence enveloped the room like a heavy fog. Memories long battled but never resolved hung in the air as Jenna contemplated the next steps. She could feel her heartbeat pulsing in her ears, urging her to trust her instincts. Jenna. Clara's voice cut through the tension. What do we do now? Jenna inhaled deeply, knowing the answer could change everything. Her gaze locked on her mother, and an unexpected resolve blossomed within her. Let us start with honesty. Just tell us everything, no more secrets this time. As the words left her lips, she felt the gravity of the moment shift. This was a single choice with a ripple effect, a dive into the depths of emotions they had kept hidden for far too long, and while the taste of fear mixed with hope hung between them, some part of Jenna just wanted to believe that tonight would be the first step towards the healing they so desperately needed. Were they ready to unearth all that had been buried? Or would the painful truth once again tear them apart? The weight of the world hung heavy in the room, a thick fog that threatened to suffocate them all. Jenna's heart raced as she braced herself for her mother's response. The air felt electric, charged with unspoken truths and unhealed wounds. Lisa inhaled slowly, her expression turning serious, reflective. I have so many things to say that I don't know where to begin. I've thought about this moment every single day. And yet, here I am, unable to articulate the regrets that have haunted me. The tremor in Jenna's mother's voice tugged at her heartstrings. She exchanged a glance with Clara, whose eyes mirrored concern yet also unyielding hope. Mia still watched, wide-eyed and innocent, a fragile reminder of the love they all shared amidst the chaos. Let us take it slow, Jenna attempted, her voice steady in a bid to convey strength. You said you thought about us every day. Why did you stay away? Did you think our lives would be better without you? Her pulse quickened, the question raw with emotions she'd wrestled with for years. Lisa's shoulders sagged as if the weight of her shame pressed down on her. I was trapped in my own darkness. I thought leaving was the best way to protect you. I was scared of how I might hurt you again if I stayed. I wanted to fix my life, but I lost my way. And I lost you too in the process. Tears shimmered in her eyes, the vulnerability pouring forth like a dam breaking. Jenna's resolve faltered for a moment, a flicker of empathy piercing through the anger. What Lisa had done was unforgivable, yet there was a longing to understand. I know it's hard to talk about, Clara said gently, but we deserve to hear your truth. We need to know. We want to believe you can be our mom again. Silence enveloped them again as Lisa gathered her thoughts, the vulnerability intermingling with the fear of what they would uncover. I fell into addiction, a spiraling pit I didn't realize would disconnect me from everything I loved, she confessed. I thought I could win back your love after I cleaned up my life, but I was wrong for thinking I could do that without you. The fear of facing you when I was broken kept me from trying. Each painful admission echoed, unearthing scars that had not healed, exposing raw emotions layered over years of longing. Jenna struggled with the memories, the days spent feeling invisible, the nights haunted by the soul-crushing reality of their family's fracture. Everything she had experienced set ablaze the doubt in her heart. I wanted to reach out, Lisa continued softly, to call you, but guilt held me prisoner. Then the addiction just took hold. It got worse. But I promised myself I wouldn't let it take me again. Mia shifted closer to their mother. Do you really love us, Mom? Like, really? The innocent question hung in the air, sharp and piercing. Lisa nodded, the vulnerability cradled in her gaze. I do, sweetheart, more than you'll ever know. I can't change what happened, but I'm here now. I'm ready to do the work, if you'll let me. Jenna's heart clenched. Could this be the turning point they so desperately needed? Could Lisa's admission signal the dawn of a new era in their lives? She felt a flicker of warmth seep through her chest, a cautious optimism. What's done is done, but it's about moving forward, Clara interjected, her voice full of conviction. We need to redefine what our family means, and it starts with honesty. This dinner is a chance to make it a new ritual, a way of sharing our truths together every week, if you're open to it. Lisa's eyes widened with unguarded hope. I'd love that more than anything. I want to know you too, the versions of yourselves I've missed, and build something real. I'm done being afraid. The atmosphere shifted, the heaviness that had engrossed them lightened just a touch, nudging them toward an unanticipated journey of healing. Okay, Jenna whispered, her voice shaking slightly as hope surged. Let's start with dinner tonight. No pretenses. Mia clapped her hands together with excitement, and even Jenna found herself smiling, a genuine expression that felt foreign yet good. As they gathered around the table that night, setting dishes in place and laying forks side by side, the butterfly effect of a simple home-cooked meal began to unveil itself. Jenna sensed they were about to embark on something monumental. But as laughter bubbled up and stories started trickling out, the shadows of their past lingered like ghosts at the edge of every word. Each person had their history that needed acknowledgement. And while their past had been riddled with pain, it was essential to believe that love could heal scars. Don't you think it's strange how we've gone so long without living together as a family? Clara remarked at one point, her brow knitted together, deep in thought. It is, Jenna admitted, but maybe it's a second chance. A shot at creating a history worth holding on to. They all nodded, the simplicity of the moment wrapping around them warmly, and as the dinner wound on, they shared stories, truths, and laughter that started stitching the fragmented patches of their lives back together. The tension in the air evaporated little by little. At last, they had come together, not as broken pieces but as lives woven into a tapestry of collective survival, and they dared to dream of brighter days ahead. As the hour grew late, Jenna glanced at her mother, who looked like she had never been more alive. Let's make this a weekly thing, she proposed with determination. Let's commit to using our voices. Talk about the hard stuff, the good stuff, anything. We can be family. Lisa smiled, the warmth radiating around the table. Absolutely. I will need you to steer the course, but I promise to fight for my place back. Let's not wait too long this time. Their hands reached across the table, an unspoken agreement around the cozy meal. In that little home, surrounded by warmth and connection, was the recognition that healing would take time, but it was possible. As they embraced the laughter and sorrows that marked their past, a new narrative began to unfold, a story of resilience. Hope glimmered in the corners of their hearts, and Jenna knew they were just starting a beautiful, messy journey together. With gratitude swelling in her heart, she whispered silently, thanking the universe for this chance. Now, dear friends, if you felt this journey tugging at your heart, make sure to subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories of transformation. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help others find these heartfelt tales. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this ending. Your thoughts matter, and don't wait not even one more second to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. True fans understand the importance of supporting this channel through these actions.